Welcome, folks. We're just going to give everybody a moment to log in, get connected to the audio and video so that you can all enjoy the full benefits of our webinar this morning. Let's just take a moment for everybody to log in. All right, I see the numbers rising rapidly. I appreciate everybody being with us this morning. My name is Bill Allen. I have the honor of serving as President and CEO of the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, a nonprofit celebrating our 40th anniversary here in Los Angeles County, advancing opportunity and prosperity for all the residents of our region. We're very proud to have served this community for the past 40 years, and as such, we have had the opportunity to work with small businesses and micro enterprises through a lot of different disruptions in our economy and in their sectors over the past 4 decades, but nothing quite like what we are all going through together now. This COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc on our economy, particularly our small business and micro enterprise economy over the last 8 months. That is really unprecedented. And as such, we have dedicated an enormous amount of our resources to serving these small businesses and micro enterprises in their moment of greatest need. Disproportionately, these are small businesses and micro enterprises owned by women and people of color who've been impacted just as the health impacts have been wrought disproportionately on people of color in our communities and lower income communities. So too have the economic impacts been disproportionately visited on low income communities, on women and people of color as entrepreneurs or as members of our labor force. And so the work that we and our partners that you will hear from this morning are doing is really important, and we're very grateful to each one of our speakers that you're going to hear from this morning, because they individually and collectively through their organizations have really stepped up to meet the unprecedented need of the small business community in this region in recent months. We have partnered with the County of Los Angeles since our inception. It was actually an act of the County Board of Supervisors in 1981 that created the LAEDC, and we continue to partner closely with them to this day. Particularly in this Rapid Response Business Assistance Initiative that's a partnership with LA County Workforce Development, Aging, and Community Services. And it is with them as partners that we bring today's Smart Business Recovery 101 webinar to you, which is really about accessing and securing business assistance resources for your enterprises. As I said, we have an extraordinary group of speakers available to you. And of course, they all have resources, as we do, posted on their own websites, but I'll just give a brief plug for ours. The laedc.org/coronavirus website, which we call our Community Connectory, has been visited by more than 100,000 unique visitors in recent months, as an example of just how significant the need is for access to technical assistance, such as you'll receive this morning, but also connections to loan and grant capital, which the county and its partner LISC LA have been so successful in deploying to small businesses in critical need throughout the region. You're going to hear about procurement opportunities this morning. You're going to hear about business growth and reinvention and recovery opportunities. You're going to hear about paycheck protection program, forgiveness guidance, all of which are important and all of which become increasingly important as we enter into these winter months with the pandemic spread rising in our region, across our state, and across our nation. Last night, our county announced some further restrictions on businesses large and small in the region, and there are potential further restrictions yet to come. So I just want to briefly mention a program that we have launched in response to the small business community who've told us resoundingly in recent months how important it is that we step up the efforts of everyone in our region to be safer at work, safer in the workplace. There's a role for owners of businesses to play. There's a role for employees of businesses to play. And there's also a role for all of us who patronize our local businesses to play, and our communities who surround these businesses. We are tired, many of us, of this pandemic. We're tired of the protocols, but this is a test of our character. This is a test of our mettle as people. Now, all of you on this call today are leaders in one way or another. You're stewards of our regional economy. We are calling upon you to help us help small businesses survive this winter. We're all very optimistic that next spring and summer will be brighter days, The news from Pfizer and Moderna about the success of their vaccines is extraordinarily good news, but we've got a few months till they'll be available to all of us. And in those few months, it's incumbent upon all of us to help keep our businesses open. And the way we do that is not only with what you're going to hear today, the very specific resources you can hear about today, but it's also keeping each other safe in the workplace. So please visit saferatwork.la. That's saferatwork.la to learn more about this campaign that we're launching in the days and weeks ahead to increase safety and a sense of shared responsibility for each other's safety in the workplace. That campaign is part of our overall partnership with the county on rapid response business assistance. This webinar is part of that, and we have an extraordinary moderator for the webinar today. I want to acknowledge first, by the way, Judy Kruger, who leads our Community Connectory team and many of our strategic initiatives for putting together this program for you today. And it's my honor to introduce an extraordinary business coach who's with the Lead Center SBDC. I'll let her tell you a little bit about her own formidable background, helping businesses across many sectors and across multiple nations. And she's going to introduce our panelists to you. She's going to be your moderator. Her name is Claudia Shaw, and I'm honored to be able to turn over the platform to Claudia. Thanks everybody for joining us. Claudia, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bill. And thank you everybody for being here today. Like Bill said, my name is Claudia Shaw. I work with the Small Business Development Center, the SBDC. And at the SBDC, what we do is we offer free advising to those entrepreneurs who wants to or start a business or who are already in business and wants to grow their business. Our services are free because we're sponsored by the SBA and by GoBiz. And with those funds, we are able to support you and help you and guide you. And I know this year has been very, very special and a little bit rough. So here we are. I am very honored to be moderating today's panel with these amazing panelists that you have, expert in different areas, and which I have the pleasure of working with some of them and partnering as well, because we do support each other as organizations as well. We do need to do that in order all to work together and be able to provide you with excellent service and empower you and encourage you. So I am going to introduce one by one, each one of them, and they can tell us a little bit about them so you can know what they do, which organization they represent, and then I'll ask them some questions for you to know each one of them, how can they support you and help you. You can also ask questions. There is a Q&A box. So down below your screen, you can see Q&A. Feel free to ask your questions over there. When we are done, I will try to, as much as I can and the time permits, I'll try to really ask all those questions to our panelists, okay? So without further ado, I wanna give the floor to each one of our panelists. They will have 1 minute to introduce themselves, to tell us a little bit about the organization they represent. So let's start with Pamela Bizzell. She's the Director of Special Projects at Vermont's Lawson Economic Development Corporation. And Pamela, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Claudia, and welcome everybody and good morning. And I'd just like to bring greetings from our CEO, Joe Rouzan. And Vermont's Lawson, we've been around for about 39 years. We'll be celebrating our 40th year next year. And under our business development program, we operate the City of LA Business Source Center in the South Los Angeles area. And we also have what we call our VIP program, which is our Vermont Lawson Incubator program for residents and business owners who live in the county of Los Angeles. All the services are free. All you would need to do is to enroll with us. You have the pleasure of doing the webinars. You get a business coach with you for about a year that will help you to, if you're looking to start a business, they'll work with you on that, as well as for those of you who are looking to scale up. So the business coach will be with you for about a year. And then if you do need a deeper dive, we have what we call our content expert consultants with us to help you to do what you need to do to move your business along. And then some of our other projects are our Veterans Entrepreneurial Training Program that we started actually this month, last month actually. So we'll be finishing up our first cohort. And then we also have a supplier diversity program in partnership with Southern California Gas. So basically, those are the services that we do provide for our business community.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pamela. Now I have the pleasure of introducing to you Tenua Trajan-Intuk. She is the Executive Director of Los Angeles Local Initiative Support Corporation, better known as LISC LA. So Tenua, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Claudia, and great to be on, and great to be on with other colleagues as well, who are really helping to support small businesses right now. Thanks for LAEDC for bringing us all together. So the Local Initiative Support Corporation is what is called a community development financial institution. And we have spent, every day, even before COVID, focused on making sure communities have access to the capital that they need, as well as the capacity to be able to continue to grow and create great places to live, work, do business, and raise a family. Since the COVID-19 crisis has hit, and we've had a series of public health orders, LISC has been working not only on the affordable housing side, and we'll talk about that under different circumstances, but for today, we'll talk about the action that we've taken along with other partners, including some of those who are on the phone right now, to be able to make sure that our small businesses have what they need to stabilize during this time, as well as to think about new market opportunities. So specifically for the work that we've been doing, I'm going to just mention 3 areas quickly. So one is capital access. We certainly have access to working capital, acquisition capital, as well as commercial real estate loans. And we encourage you to reach out to us to learn more about some of the specifics around how much is available and some of the terms of that capital. For some entrepreneurs out there, they may be interested in a micro loan. So this is a loan that's between $500 and $15,000, and we've got 0% interest, 0% fee loans available right now under our Kiva partnership. So we'd encourage you to take a look at our website regarding that. And then as you think about securing new customers, not only are you looking for maybe everyday people to be part of your business, but you may be looking for opportunities to sell B2B to other businesses. And so through our Ascend program, what we call Ascend Los Angeles, we're specifically looking for small businesses that are a little larger, anywhere from $250,000 in annual revenue on up to more than $2 million. And what we want to do is help you access market opportunities with large anchor institutions such as the County of Los Angeles and other private sector entities that are making major purchases. And then finally, some of you may be very familiar with our work around the LA Regional COVID Fund. This has been a more than $100 million initiative to bring grants to small businesses, micro enterprises, and nonprofits. While that is closed at this time, meaning we have accepted all the applications for this year and we're in the process of distributing, I would encourage you to visit our website at lacovidfund.org. And there you'll find additional resources beyond the grants that we offered, grants from other entities. And we also encourage you to sign up to get more information, because as new opportunities come up, we'll be sending that out as well so that you can get connected. So I'll leave it there and look forward to the dialogue. Thank you.
Perfect, Tenua. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the support. I know it has been a rough year, and I know LISC has helped a lot supporting, and we at the SBDCs, we have been also working together with all of you in order to be able to provide you all this information about the amazing things that LISC has done for our community. So thank you so much. So now let's go to Sebastian DeVivo. Sebastian is a PhD co-founder of List Venture and Sophist Capital, and he also works with an SBDC, that is Pixel Exchange. So here you have Sebastian.
Awesome. Thank you, Claudia, and thanks LAEDC for putting this together. My name, as Claudia mentioned, is Sebastian DeVivo, and my focus and my background is in access to capital. So as Claudia mentioned, I serve as an advisor with Pixel Exchange, which is an SBDC, and I chair what we call the money team there. This is the last stage that a client company has to go through before they can go and ask for a loan or ask investors for money. They go through a program with me and my group to make sure that they're ready. I also am part of the Stanford Angels and Entrepreneurs of Southern California. I work on the platform committee with them. And then in terms of the two companies that I founded, List Ventures and Sophos Capital, they're both focused on access to capital for underrepresented, underserved, overlooked entrepreneurs, the people that on paper don't show the true value and the true core worth of the business. They're the ones that we focus on, and we work very closely with these portfolio companies to make sure that we lay a foundation that's going to allow them to access capital, not just once, but year after year after year as they grow along. Very happy to be here and happy to answer any questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sebastian. And now we have Andrew Barrera. Andrew is a procurement officer with PACE LA, another great organization that also supports small business owners. So Andrew.
Yes, my name is Andrew Barrera. I am a procurement officer with PACE. We partner with both the SBDC and with LISC. We also are a CDFI lender. We also operate two business source centers with the City of Los Angeles and a women's business center. I personally manage a program called GoBiz. It's a specialized program through the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. So we provide a wide range of services. I specialize in procurement, in helping small businesses get contracts with the government, utilities, and the private sector, especially during this particular time of COVID. We're seeing a lot of businesses struggling and having to reinvent themselves, and that are looking at government contracting as an opportunity to expand their business and continue to service the communities that they're in their arena. We have multiple programs. We also have an SBA COVID program that we operate through our Women's Business Center. We have numerous other types of programs that we try to cover the spectrum of needs of small businesses out there, whether it's lending, whether it's business development, whether it's government contracting, whether it's business planning. We try to help you understand your business at a deeper level to help you establish a business infrastructure that allows you to pivot and to expand the business. We would like to make sure that people know, small business owners know, that even though we're in a disaster time with this COVID, there are also opportunities out there. And so one of the things that we like to do is really take a deep dive into your business with consulting and help you recognize where you can grow and where you can develop and what steps you need to take to get to the next level. There's a lot of resources here. Looking forward to participating, and we'd like to thank LAEDC for the invitation.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. So as all of you can hear and see, and there is a very broad panel here that offers a lot of support for your small business. So you are not alone, and here we are to guide you. So let's dive deep into each one of them to get to know a little bit better what they do and how they can support you. So let's start with Pamela. So Pamela, at the Vermont Laws on Economic Development Corporation, I know you already said that it's free, but like I always get the same question over and over at the SBDC is like, are you guys for free? Are you really for free? So are you really for free, Pamela?
Yes, we are really for free. All you need to do is just to register, to go up on our website, and I can put that in the chat, to register. And if you're in the City of Los Angeles, it will go to our Business Source Center if you're a resident looking to start a business, or you have say for instance, if you live in Inglewood, but you have a brick and mortar business in the City of Los Angeles, then you would go to the Business Source Center. If you are a LA County resident, you're looking to start a business or have a business, then you would go to the special project side, the VIP program, to enroll, but we mirror each other, so all the services are the same. And yes, everything is free.
Perfect, perfect. So you are a city of Los Angeles, and like we at the SBDC, we are LA County, so we can serve everybody in the LA County. So that's perfect. Tenua, let's talk a little bit about all these great loans and things like this that people can access. And one of the biggest challenges that people normally have when they want, or our entrepreneurs have when they want to apply for a loan is, what type of documentation do I need to have? Like, what is my basic documents that I should have in order for me to access a loan?
Yeah.
Oh, is that to me?
It's to Tenua. See, yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yes.
Pam, you can get in there, not a problem. I was just thinking it's great to see you, Sebastian and Andrew.
Yeah, we can make it interactive. That's fine.
Pam, you want to start?
Well, no, Tenua, you go ahead, because actually I don't do so much with the loans. I know some of the documentation, but you're the expert really on that piece. So I'm going to defer to you.
Okay, great. So, when it comes to getting ready for a loan application, it's really critical that a business look at making sure that they've got their statements in order. So we want to try and look at, we've got an application, for example. So you want to complete that. In that application, we're going to get a sense of what's been your tax returns. So you have that information. You want to make sure that you have that information handy. From there, we're looking at your profit and loss statement. So, what's happening in terms of your business, and, what have you been doing over this last year, or even more, just to give us a sense of that. The other element is really also about, what are you going to be using these funds for? How do we get a sense as to what you're going to be using these funds for, and how is that going to turn into potential growth? How are you going to be in a position to be able to pay these funds back? We have folks who are looking at, for example, we recently had someone who was looking at hiring someone to be more or less like a business officer. So this was a professional service. And the owner was, really good at doing the work, but hadn't really figured out how to go out and make sure that there was work still coming in. And so they were looking for resources to be able to do that. So having some sense of what kind of contracts that they either have on the horizon, already have, how those are paying out, can give us some sense as to how that payment can go. So those are some examples of some of the things that we'd be looking for.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Tenua. And one of the things that I know Pamela also provides, and Sebastian and us at the SBDC, is a business plan, because normally the business plan will help you also guide towards where you want to go with your business and how you want to spend that money. Like, why are you looking or seeking for a loan, and how you want to spend it. So just to stay a little bit on that same topic, Pamela, like the mentorship that you guys offer, do you write the business plan with the entrepreneur? Do you help them, or what is the support towards the business plan that you guys do?
Well, we don't have a mentorship program, but what we do is we place them with a business coach. And so we also have webinars that can help them to write the business plan. And especially that business plan is important for those that are starting out in business, to really get a feel of, is their business opportunity, is it really feasible? So, they have to do all that research and target marketing and all of that to find out if they have really a feasible business. Say, for instance, if you are an existing business, you've kind of done that, but you might want to, look at, hey, I want to scale my business now. So you really might want to do a plan of action. So you want to scale your business, you might have to pivot. Is your business model still relevant? So that's where we would place you with those business coaches that really would be your cheerleader in terms of you're sitting down and really mapping out what you want to do, what you need to do to get there. And then that business coach is checking in with you. Hey, have you done X, Y, and Z? Okay, you've done that. Let's go to the next step. Or let's go to our social media expert person to get that done. But we don't write the business plan for the person. They have to write it, but we look at what they're doing and try to, direct them in the right direction.
Perfect, perfect. And like I tell our clients, you are the expert on your business, not me. So I cannot write that business plan for you. I can guide you, I can give you all the support, I can give you the templates and whatever not, but it's your business. You know better how you want to manage it and where you want to go with it. So that's perfect.
Claudia,
Sebastian.
I did want to just know, because the business plan is critical, but one of the things that we're looking for is to know that you have done COVID adjustments, that you are understanding that because of COVID-19, what kinds of adjustments have you accounted for in that plan in order to ensure that you can follow the public health orders as well?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have to adjust with these new requirements, with the new situation that we are all living. So that's a very important point in order for them to get access. Sebastian, let's talk a little bit about the PPP. That has been like the talk for a lot of our entrepreneurs this year. So let's focus a little bit on the PPP forgiveness part of it. Like, what type of documentation do they need? How can we like help them and provide them with this forgiveness process, or what do they need to do?
Right. So the key here to determine the forgiveness is to calculate the eligible expenses during the covered period. So what that means is I'm going to assume that you chose the 24-week period. If you have payroll, you need a payroll report that gives you the total disbursement in net payroll, and then you're able to add your employer taxes to it, and that gives you the number for the eligible payroll forgiveness. So that tends to be one of the big hurdles for a lot of people, because they're like, well, what about this? And does this count as payroll? And, I got a report that looks like this, or I got a report that looks like that. So, we do recommend, like Claudia and Pam said, there are SBDC advisors who are free, and business source advisors who are free, who can sit down and walk you through it and just make sure that they can help you, that you're calculating correctly. So that's the big thing. The other one is you have to prove, to qualify for EZ, that you did not reduce hours or salaries by more than 25%. Or if you did, you have to certify that this was because you couldn't rehire them. So what this means is you need to be pretty on top of your payroll, so your current employees, and know their status both when you receive the loan and then at the end of the covered period. So those are the two big documents that you need.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. And along the same topic, one of the things that we want to clarify also with the PPP is that you go directly to your lender, to that organization that provide you with the PPP to file for the forgiveness. What they have at the SBA website is just a sample form for you to fill out, but your lender is the one who's going to really give you the final paperwork that you have to fill out, correct?
Yes, and that's a very good point. So PPPs were given on behalf of the SBA by specific lenders, which means that the SBA doesn't talk to any PPP borrower directly. So the forgiveness application has to be done with the lender who gave it to you. And it's worth mentioning that several of the bigger ones have their own forgiveness platforms. So, you have the regular form that you see on the SBA website that says, here's the application. That's actually not the application. A lot of lenders have their own. Smaller ones will ask you to fill out what the SBA gave you and submit it. But again, it goes to the bank directly, not the SBA.
Perfect, thank you. We'll come back to this topic again, but let's hear a little bit from Andrew about procurement and government contracting. A lot of our clients comes to us and says, okay, I wanna grow my business and I wanna do government contracting. So the question for you, Andrew, is what is the basic procedure for those entrepreneurs?
Well, the first thing would be, are you contract ready? We get a lot of businesses that come to us that they're looking at procurement as possibly a quick fix, and that's not what it is. Procurement basically involves companies that have the business infrastructure, have the history of performing. So even if you've never done contracts with the government or utilities or large private sector companies, we want to see what kinds of contracts, what types of accounts that you have had in the past, because that would show us either you're contract ready now or you're close to being contract ready. There's also other things that are also considered. If you were to get a large procurement contract, you're going to have to fund the money up front. So you may not get paid for a net 30, net 45, net 60 days. So do you have the financial stability to be able to cover those costs, including labor, which is probably going to be your most expensive cost when you first start a contract. There's bond insurance, there's bond and insurance. So, understanding the protocol, that you have the infrastructure in place to actually actively compete, but we will help you. And the basic strategy in a nutshell is understanding your NEX codes. Every service that companies provide out there has a 6-digit number, and then you register that in supplier vendor portals, which has a bid match component that if your number comes up and there's a contract, you will automatically get emailed or notified that there's a contract opportunity or an invitation to bid or invitation for a quote or whatever the acronym is. We also encourage you to get small business certifications. Each level of government has its own certification, so there isn't one that fits all. So if you come and you sit down with us, we'll help you understand the benefits of that. The benefits of small business certifications is to level the playing field, to give you an opportunity to actively compete. And I just want to note that last year, we did about 1.3 million in business contracts for small businesses. The majority of those businesses were small micro enterprises. We have some larger companies. We've seen a trend. Traditionally, procurement contracts involve construction, transportation, commodities, but we've seen now a shift into renewable energy and professional services. So, and especially in response to COVID, we're seeing contract opportunities being put out, RFPs and RFQs, for remote communications, remote business development. How can you help the government or large corporations adjust to managing their companies remotely? So there's a lot of opportunity out there. Once you start getting your notifications, if you see something that you like, you would send it to us and we'll actually sit down with you and review the RFP and how to respond and help you put a budget together to be competitive, because it's just like the business place, the business market, it's a competitive process. So we'll help you understand what are your best features, identify where you're weak and where we need to strengthen up. And even if you feel that you're not capable of completing a complete contract, because you have to be able to establish that you can perform on a contract on time, on budget, but you may be able to hire the talent or partner with another small company that you can do a joint bid. So I think in 2019 in Southern California alone, there was about $90 billion in contract opportunities available to small businesses. And unfortunately, only 6% of those businesses went to diverse businesses, which are veterans, women, minority, local, LGBTQ, whatever the demographic is. So we want to help you understand that there is tremendous amount of opportunity, not just in the government, but the utilities and the private sector. And you come in to see us and we'll help you understand the protocol, and we'll start taking baby steps, but progressive steps to get you to a place where you can apply and actively compete.
So definitely the question is, new businesses, just startups, cannot do this. They're not ready yet. They will have to wait at least 2
Well,
years.
it depends on the industry, okay? If you're an architect or an engineer, you might be able to. If you're an attorney, you might be able to jump right in because you have that kind of professional training that may be required. However, getting a contract for a big company or the government is risk management. I have to make sure that the contract that I'm awarding using public money or my company's money is going to a company that's going to be able to perform. And so if you're a startup, what we need to do is we need to build up a performance history to show that you can perform on a contract, that you're able to deliver. And so we'll help guide you. That's when I say about building your infrastructure includes that. Because not only do we want to know that you have the skill, but we would like to see that you've actually performed on contracts before. So that shows to me as a buyer that you can do the job.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Pamela, do you provide assistance to ITIN holders?
Yes, we do. You can still participate in both of our, the LA Business Source Center or the VIP. So most definitely, yes.
Yes, and this is a great opportunity for us to let everybody know that yes, regardless of if you're an ITIN holder, yes, you can still start a business. Yes, you can pay taxes, and yes, you can have access to a lot of the resources that the Vermont's Laws and Offers or the business or centers, plus the SBDCs as well. So take advantage of it and let's start the business and keep on going. Pamela, do you guys offer also like assistance with the financial projections, balance statements?
Yes, we do. The business coach would either do that or we would send to one of our expert content consultants. But yes, we help with, getting your financials, because we found that when people applied for the PPP monies, a lot of them, they did not have their financial statements in order.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really big thing that really prevented them from getting those loans. So yes, we do help with that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, I know a lot of people have been asking questions in the chat box. If you can do it in the Q&A, that would be perfect. Sebastian has been helping answering some of those questions. So, and I know Tenua also have answered some. But let's try to do it in the Q&A so we can keep track of those. Okay, Tenua, big thing. What is the difference between an SBA loan and a non-SBA loan?
Yeah, so people hear like, oh, I have an SBA loan, or some people are, don't have an SBA loan and are trying to understand the difference. The main difference is that the SBA loan is a government-backed loan. So this loan is got the full force and credit of the federal government, and the lending institution who's making that loan to you is able to call upon, if for some reason that loan doesn't perform the way they would hope, they can get sort of a guarantee as part of that. A non-SBA loan, which we offer both, is one that doesn't have that level necessarily of guarantee. And then because of that difference, that could mean that the SBA loan product, you can probably maybe and sometimes get a lower rate than you could with a conventional loan. Because again, it is government guaranteed, you also may be able to get a longer term. So you might be able to get a 25-year versus maybe an instrument that's only 5 years or 3 years. And that way, as a small business, depending on what you're looking to use the money for, you may be able to have sort of a steady stream of payments over a longer period of time at an interest rate that's probably fixed. But there are benefits as well to getting a conventional loan. So let's say, for example, you're looking to boost your credit score or show that you can access even more capital because you're looking to grow. Having that shorter term you're able to show that you can handle, repayment of a full instrument that you've taken out in a much shorter period of time, being able to hopefully, boost your credit score and give you a chance to potentially go back. But you may need to be in a position to pay a balloon payment, for example, with a conventional loan if it's not fully amortized and you haven't been able to pay the entire amount of the loan. So that's something to consider as well. At LISC, like I said, we do have SBA products, but a big majority of our products are not necessarily SBA backed. Sometimes with SBA, there's a little more range in terms of credit score, whereas some conventional loans, if you don't meet a certain credit score threshold, you're just not going to get the loan. And then for us, what we do is we try and create our own guarantee for those conventional loans that we offer. Although I wouldn't really say that we offer conventional loans because we are not a bank. And so we try really, really hard to lend to people who probably couldn't get a loan at a bank. And so what we do is we undergird our loans with grant dollars, and we couple that so that we have some level of guarantee or some risk funds available when we're going out and making loans. So it's not the government guarantee source that we're using on our more traditional loans, but it does provide our credit committee with some level of comfort that we have a source to draw upon.
And just to clarify, one of the questions is SBA loans will show up on our credit report, of course.
Yes, as will, right, they will, as will a traditional loan as well. When I was talking about the credit score, part of what you may be wanting to be able to do is, we've had borrowers who come in and we say, okay, well, at this point, you can only access X amount of capital. But if you can pay that consistently, get to a point where you're paying that off in 36 months, then we can talk about a larger instrument. And so that just allows you to be able to have that boost faster than maybe some of the SBA products where you might have a much longer horizon when you're talking 15, 25 years.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Sebastian, I know we are getting into the deep of the PPP and the EIDLs and all that stuff, but I think it would be important. We already talked a little bit about the PPP. Let's just switch a little bit about the IDL because I know Daniel has been asking questions about it. So can we clarify what the IDL is, what the IDL advancement is, and the deduction when you are doing the PPP?
Right. So the big difference between EIDL and PPP is that EIDL is a program that the SBA does directly, which means that they're lending you the money. The advance was, it was the way the EIDL was reconfigured for COVID, was that while people were waiting for the loan, they were having a lot of trouble staying afloat. So the advance came about as a way to tide businesses over while they were waiting for the loan. And then, it changed several times, but it ended up being a grant. So it's a grant that you receive while you're waiting for the EIDL loan. The EIDL loan is designed for operational expenses. So it's meant for you to use to pay what you normally have to pay to keep your business going. The PPP is very specific. It's designed for payroll, rent, and utilities. So in that sense, they're very different.
Perfect. Sorry, I was on mute. Perfect. So yeah, so make sure that the advancement that you guys got from the EIDL or the EIDL was based on the amount of employees, and because PPP is also a loan that is towards your payroll, that's why they want you to deduct that amount from your PPP. So anyway, that's why the SBDC is here also for you. If you have more questions, you can call us and we can explain you and we can guide you and walk you through this. Andrew, let's talk a little bit more about procurement. So there is RFPs, RFQs, IFBs. So can you explain us a little bit? I know it is like a whole world and it will be hard for us to understand 100%, but at least to know a little bit what it is and the differences, so we can understand it better when they are applying for one of these contracts.
Yeah, so there's a lot of acronyms out there. You know, there's an invitation to bid, invitation for a quote, which is basically kind of the same thing, but it's really kind of divided into professional type services, which is a more in-depth. Generally, those are RFPs, request for a proposal, or a request for qualifications. And then you have commodities, where you're selling products to the government or to the utilities or to a large corporation like Boeing or something like that. So that process is a little bit more streamlined because they just want to make sure that you meet the specifications of the product, that you are able to deliver in a timely manner, or at least within the time frame that the buyer is looking for, and that you can, which means quality control issues there as well, to make sure that you're providing the quality product that they're looking for, and in a timely manner. We've seen some companies, because we've been getting more and more supplier companies and some small manufacturers that are looking to pivot. And the problem is they're getting a lot of their product from overseas, and they're not able to get it within a short period of time. So like LA County, they would like to see something in 2 weeks that you can deliver. And if you can't deliver for 30 days or 45 days because you're having it shipped over, that can be a problem. But getting back to your question, so let's go to RFQ. So that's request for qualifications. So like for instance, LA Metro, they have a bench for, let's say, in their marketing or their video production service. What they're looking for when they put out a request for qualifications is they want to establish a pool of qualified, pre-qualified vendors that they will send either that only that small bench, it could be maybe a group of 10, 20 suppliers can bid on, or if they really feel strongly enough that you have the capacity to bid, or you provide the service exactly what they're looking for, they can sole source you a potential contract or limit the pool. So they're looking RFQ, request for qualifications, is how a agency or a company is looking to identify a highly skilled product or service that you're able to offer. RFPs is a traditional proposal, often used for construction and professional services and transportation, where they put notice out to the world, so to speak, that we have this need that we need to service, and that we are looking for maybe the 5 top bidders that are going to make the short list that we want to interview. Because when you get to that short list, all those companies are capable of performing on the contract. So we want to be able to go through the process, vet the companies. Also, what's real important when you turn in an RFP, RFQ, or invitation for information is they're going to vet you out. They're going to research who you are. Because remember, I had mentioned it's all about risk management. So they want to see, they're going to look at your website. They may even look at your social media. So it's very, very important that we're consistent, that we're able to articulate, that we want to show that we're a more sophisticated, thorough thinker, that we're answering the question, because the RFPs we want to talk exactly what they're looking for. We want to speak their same language. We need to understand that we're providing this type of service. But getting back to your original question, there's a lot of different acronyms, but generally those are the categories that they fall in. So if you get something that you like, another thing is some of these proposals, some of these RFPs and RFQs could be like 180 pages, and it looks very daunting. But we'll help you understand that a part of that is just boilerplate, a part of that is compliance and sample contracts, and a third of it is the actual the proposal that you'll need to write and to address. And we'll help you understand that and interpret that for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I know our small business owners, this is a new world. That going to government contracting is a whole new world. The paperwork, the certification processes and everything is quite lengthy. So yes, that's the good thing with PACE. You do have that guidance. With us, you do have that guidance. So there are a lot of certifications also that you need to get. And Andrew, any certification that you will think that is a must for our entrepreneur to have before
So
they go to government contracting?
yes, so just know that if it's government, the government has mandatory goals that a certain percentage of their contracts have to go to diverse businesses. Okay, because the way that the government looks at it and the policy behind it is we need to give small businesses an opportunity to grow their capacity to the point where they don't need certifications. But for instance, like LA County and the city of Los Angeles, they have a 25% minimum goal of doing contracts. And so that would be the small business enterprise. But there's also the woman business enterprise or a minority business enterprise or a veteran. And each one of those certification classifications has a goal. I've seen through the city of LA where they were only looking for emerging business enterprises. There was a small percent goal of 6%. But what that means to me is that they probably are already hit their goal as small business enterprises. So there's other opportunities out there. So, initially in my business, I didn't get a small business certification. However, if I was to reopen my business, I would get every single one that I can get my hands on and understand which ones are being utilized by what agency and how do I qualify. Because clearly there's opportunities out there I had just mentioned. So in the whole state of California, there could be $200 billion, $300 billion in contract opportunities, especially during these times of COVID where we're doing remote communications. There's a lot of opportunity for us to do things statewide. And if you're a supplier, you can ship your product anywhere, or you can provide IT services or professional consulting services via Zoom or interacting remotely. I see that there's a lot of opportunities, and I want all the small businesses to realize that there's a possibility that we can help you get a contract. We take it a step at a time. We identify what you can do, and where you're weak, we're going to find how we can strengthen that potential weakness, and put a strategy, short-term and a long-term strategy to how to start getting contracts.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. Pamela, do you offer with the business or centers or at the business or centers, do you offer any loans? Because a lot of people also, when they come to the SBDC, is like, I need money. We are like, yeah, we don't give you the money because we are not lenders, but we will help you find the right lender for you and do the process. At the business or center level, what do you guys do, or how do you manage this?
Yes, we outsource right now. We are right now getting our infrastructure together. We do have a CDFI, and that probably will not get started until January. So right now, if a client needed a loan, we work with a lot of different community lenders and conventional lenders to help them get the best fit that they need for their loan.
Perfect. Thank you. Tinoa, the question that everybody still asking, I guess, with this with this economy right now, grants. Do we have any more grants coming? Do we have any more opportunities for our small business owners? What do we have out there?
So by the time we finish 2020, we will have given out more than 8,000 grants to small businesses, nonprofits, and micro enterprises.
Wow.
So we are in the process right now of processing many of those. Someone asked me if I haven't been notified that I was selected, what can I do? Just hold on. If you haven't been selected, we have notified sort of that initial round of folks, but there are people who are not completing their paperwork on time, are not getting their documentation in. And if that's the case, we will continue to go down the list. So, hold out hope for a little bit longer. Then I would say that please sign up on the LA COVID Fund website, because as new opportunities come along, we will be sending that out. We will be notifying people via email. So, make sure you get signed up there. And the question is there more money on the way? I can't give any details other than to say that yes, your county elected officials, your city elected officials are looking at earmarking even more money beyond the 100 million. And so that is forthcoming, but will be in 2021, early 2021. So be on the lookout for that. And then, some folks are looking at where we're going in terms of federal legislation. And it's quite possible that we will get another stimulus this year or early next year. And if that's the case, local cities, local counties will have money once again. And we will certainly be advocating for them to make those funds available for our micro enterprises, small businesses, and nonprofits. So hang in there. We're trying to get to as many people as we can. And if you've been selected, congratulations. And if not, there's still opportunities out there. Let's stay in touch.
Perfect, thank you. And some of the questions that I am getting in the Q&A is about grant opportunities for different type of industries and how to get aware of those opportunities. So at the Small Business Development Center, what we have a Facebook page where we are posting constantly grant opportunities or different type of loans. Those who are clients of ours, we do send them information all the time of loan opportunities. But grants, mostly, we are announcing it there. And there are a lot of grants that are not only for hair salons or restaurants or retail industries. There have been grants that are like for anybody to apply, like the LA COVID was for anybody. It wasn't targeted to certain industries only. So just be in the lookout for that. And if you want to be part of our mailing list, just let us know so we can keep you aware of those opportunities. And like Tenua said, let's wait for that stimulus plan again to restart, hopefully sooner than later, because I know a lot of our small business entrepreneurs still need some money. So hopefully we'll get it soon. Sebastian, let's go back to PPP forgiveness. Can they deny the application, or can you fill it out and deny the application? That will be one question. And the other question will be, what happens if I end up closing my business?
Right. So those are excellent questions for which we don't yet have solid answers because it hasn't happened yet. So we don't know how it's going to play out on the ground. What I can tell you is if for some reason there is a chance that you might not get forgiveness, your bank is probably going to get in touch with you and have a chat with you and say, hey, we need to recalculate this. We need to look at these numbers. We just need to, we need to make sure that that you're doing this properly so that we can forgive as much as we can. And, they'll forgive up to however much they can. And then the rest becomes a loan. And, it's at 1% interest. Initially, it was a 2-year period. I know they changed it, and I can't remember offhand what they changed it to. So, it becomes a loan, but it's not an onerous loan. It's manageable. However, if you close down, and that's actually happening, the Wall Street Journal yesterday, or the Washington Post, one of the two, published a report yesterday on the bigger companies that received the bigger loans that have since gone bankrupt. We don't know whether the SBA is going to discharge the loans in bankruptcy. I can't imagine that they won't, because, we're in a pandemic. This is an economic crisis and disaster. So, trying to chase small business owners for repayment of what was a forgivable loan is not a good use of the government's time and resources. So likely it'll get discharged. You can do the calculation, and however much of the PPP you used for eligible expenses, you'll just get forgiven the regular way. And then, whatever's left, then it'll be up to the SBA to decide whether they're going to convert it into a loan or if they're going to discharge it in bankruptcy or how they're going to handle it.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Some words of wisdom. I don't know, like each one of you, if you can say something to our small business owners present today that you consider that it will be important for them to keep in mind for now, for the 2021 coming, or something that you just want to like close with, Pamela.
I think it's important to really have your infrastructure really together, and to please, please, please take advantage of all the free services that are out there that we can all give to you, because we have excellent business coaches, consultants that will really work with you to take you to that next level.
Perfect. Tanua?
I can't underscore that enough. We did PPP loans, and so many people did not make the deadline because they did not have documentation ready and in place. We are out there trying to get these grants out, and believe it or not, people are leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table because they don't have their documentation in place. Incorporate your organization, get a business banking account, maintain financial records. And if you need help with that, reach out to one of us so that you can do that. This is going to be a cycle of activities. You can see that we open, we close, we contract, we expand. This is the time to get those things ready so that when the opportunities come again, you'll be able to take advantage.
Perfect. Thank you, Sebastian.
Same thing that Pam and Tanua said. It's very important that you have your infrastructure in order, that you track your financials and stay on top of them, because if you're asking or may be eligible for grants, loans, money, you have to be able to provide documentation to show. So if you don't have it, it's a good time to just, stay home and get it done.
Perfect. Andrew?
I echo what my colleagues are saying here. I think a very important asset that small businesses sometimes do not balance is having the business acumen to manage the business. Your business management skills, which talks about having all your corporate documents, talks about your financial management, understanding exactly where opportunities are. So many of us, we can provide the service and we're experts at the service, but we're not equally skilled in the business management portion. So right now, during these challenging times, it's critically important that you focus on business management and what resources are out there, because for us as technical assistance providers, the ones that need it don't get it. They don't come to see us. And the ones that do is because they have sound business practices, what we call best business practices, to come in and take advantage. What resources are out there for us? What financial resources? I need help on pivoting and identifying new potential revenue streams. So those types of things are all part of business management. And I encourage you to be critical thinkers and not just lay back and wait for things to come your way. You need to be aggressive. You need to go for it. You need to be able to say, I want to succeed. I want my business to succeed and grow. And so right during these times, there's opportunities or there's things that you can do to maintain your revenues and to find new business opportunities.
That's so true. And I echo all my colleagues here. And yes, what we have seen this year with our small business owners is that, yes, they don't keep on top of their financials. They are not aware of where they're going, because it kinds of like, as small business owners, you are a solopreneur, most of them, and you just like go the day by day. And when this type of situations hit, it's like, okay, let me go back. Let me see. I forgot to register my business, or I didn't pay the taxes of 2019. And some of the grants were really like, put it like you had to have the 2019 taxes before you could get something. So there are a lot of things. But the most important thing that I want also all of you to take today is that you have a lot of resources. You have a lot of help surrounded here in this county, in LA County, in this country. Take advantage of it. And most of them are for free. Like all of us that are here today with you, we are free resources for you, and we're here for you, and we are willing and able to help you and to support you, and we want you to succeed as a small business owner, because we know that you created that business with all your heart. This is your little baby. You have been working really hard into your business, and it's not fair that something like this hits and everything goes down the drain. So, and we don't want that. We really, really want you to reinvent yourself if that's the need that you will have right now, or to get access to all these great opportunities that are out there and that you can access. So can we get one or two questions before we close, Judy?
I think we have to wrap it up right now, but we've got to sign off this Zoom call. But this was fantastic information. I tell you, what a loaded 45 minutes of great content. And I was just wowed with Andrew's number of 90 billion in procurement opportunities, and only 6% are going to diverse businesses. And you know, just all the loan application help, all the information about what paperwork you need to have in order, and where are the resources. And I tell you, I have to, you know, really thank all of you, Sebastian and Tanua and Pamela and Andrew, and thank you, Claudia, for moderating and also adding to a layer of information. This was fantastic. So, and mostly I want to thank the attendees. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday morning with us, and also really diving in to figure out how to keep your business going. And this is what we want to help you out with. There's a tremendous amount of resources with not only all these panelists, and we're happy to make those connections. You probably saw the connection or the web addresses in the chat. If not, it will be in our follow-up email. But again, thank you for joining us. This was our 7th in the webinar series that we have we put on with the County of LA, but they've been so good that we're going to add one more in December, and so look for that you'll see in your emails for the attendees. But again, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, and I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.